What if everything millions believed in suddenly came under threat? What if a key ally changes course and is no longer willing to fight to the end? The latest reports from Washington have shocked even those who thought they'd seen everything. Behind closed doors, where there are no cameras or microphones, discussions are taking place about terms that would have seemed impossible just a year ago. The US administration may put Ukraine before a choice that sounds like a cold ultimatum. Not to continue the fight, but to compromise. On Russia's terms. Is this a strategic shift? Fatigue? Or a calculated move? According to sources, there's a scenario where the US could withdraw part of its support if Kyiv refuses to accept certain conditions. Conditions not dictated by allies, but by the Kremlin. This is no longer a diplomatic chess game. It's a brutal match, with more pawns on the board. And the kings are negotiating behind the scenes. What's at stake is not only the fate of nations, but the very reputation of the United States as a global power. How did we get here? And why now? Experts talk about Western fatigue, a prolonged war, and the risk of losing control. But the real question remains, is Washington truly ready to make concessions in exchange for a big deal? That deal could include freezing the conflict, ceding territory, and promising not to interfere. In essence, a cold peace dictated by a stronger neighbor. A scenario Ukraine is not ready to accept. But refusing could mean losing all support. That's the kind of ultimatum that might be delivered. Quietly. Officially. Packaged as diplomatic recommendations. But carrying a harsh message, accept, or we're done. Such news causes outrage among some American politicians, support from pragmatists, and fear among allies. For Europe, it means the US could step back. And the entire burden would fall on them. But what will happen to Ukraine? A country that fought for the right to choose is again left with no real choice, only a path between loss and isolation. So who stands to win in this scenario? Russia. Because it could present this outcome as a victory. Not on the battlefield, but at the negotiation table. This would reshape the entire security architecture of Europe. It would show the world that force works, and that you can bend others to your terms. A precedent that won't just affect Kyiv. It will be watched in Taipei, in Tbilisi, in every vulnerable region on the map. If America retreats, it doesn't just lose influence. It risks losing trust. Allies might ask, is Washington still reliable? That's why this moment is critical. It's not a time for weakness. Not a time for compromises that look like surrender. While officials stay silent, the real game plays out behind the scenes. While the cameras are off, the fate of continents is being decided. This ultimatum is not just an offer. It's a test. Of strength. Of loyalty. Of principles. And very soon, we'll see who breaks first.